Greetings, fellow YouTubers. So I just uploaded another live stream in which I poured a cap full, mixing 5 stupid hot sauces into one cap. And hooey, my tongue is still numb from that. But I did that for entertainment purposes. There were a lot of people saying fake, where's the sauce, fake, fake. And I kept on telling them, you know what, you just have to watch the stream when it airs on my channel. Watch it back and see for yourself, you know. Why you ask, would I do it? For entertainment purposes, because apparently eating spicy food has become somewhat of a trend on YouTube. Believe that, YouTube. Believe that. Now, drugs that are found in nature versus drugs that are man-made. The drugs in nature tend to be safer, but not always, if they're done wrong, Not every drug that's man-made is terrible, Cough syrup, for instance, when you have a cold, or when you're stuffed up and you're having a hard time sleeping. You know what I'm saying? It tastes gross, but it helps you sleep and it clears out your sinuses. But that being said, just because some man-made drugs are not safe and some nature drugs are, doesn't mean you should take them. You got to be careful with what you're doing. Psychedelic mushrooms are fun. They really are. You take a handful, wash it down with some orange juice and some lemonade. Sit back in a comfy chair, stare at the wall for a couple hours, watch the colors and the psychedelic, And don't do anything stupid when you're tripping on shrooms. Just sit down and relax, be in a good mood, and enjoy your trip, watching like shit distort and stuff. Yeah. Because here's the thing of it, shrooms are now legal in Denver, baby. Oh, yeah. Denver, Colorado now has legal pot and legal shrooms. Dude, come the fuck on. Why isn't the rest of the country jumping on board with this? Tax regulate the fuck out of it. Now, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, but we'd have to develop these systems to help see if people are under the influence, just like they do with testing for alcohol when it comes to drinking and driving. Anyone who's smart enough knows that, okay, if you're going to trip on shrooms, you shouldn't do anything but sit there and wait for the effects to wear off. You know what I'm saying? You want to sit in a safe environment and, just enjoy your trip. You might see colors, distortion of vision, things will kind of move around on you and distort. Reality kind of bends. It's what's known as a psychedelic, which, mushrooms are the safest of your psychedelics. Let's just leave it at that. You know, and you want to stick to your safe drugs, not the drugs that'll potentially hurt you, you know. Because there are drugs you can take to have a good time and they're perfectly safe. depending on how responsible you are with them. Alcohol is one of those drugs. It's perfectly safe in moderation. You know, but here's what gets me about this, YouTube. You can't advertise tobacco on social media or on TV anymore because that's bad for your health. But you can advertise alcohol, fast food, and prescription pills on social media and on TV, which can be just as bad for your health. Hmm. I don't know. People have a stink about, oh, you can't advertise tobacco on YouTube, but then you see a commercial for McDonald's. Which fast food, just like tobacco, just like alcohol, in some moderation, it's not bad for you, you know. But if you do it in excess, it can have disastrous health consequences. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you should start smoking, but at the same time, if you're old enough and you have an occasional cigar, it's not going to kill you. You know, well, if you don't inhale, you know. I mean, like, if you're at a wedding and, you know, the groom is handing out cigars to all his buddies, like, hey, man, celebration, you know. One cigar is not going to hurt. Or, like, you know what I'm saying? If you have a baby shower, okay? If you have a baby shower and, you know, you're celebrating the birth of your daughter or your son and you pass out cigars, you know what I'm saying? On those rare occasions, that's just it. You may discover, hey, you might like it. But it doesn't mean you should start smoking cigars. I do enjoy a good cigar on occasion. I might have to pick one up when I get my wand money to celebrate the success of my wand business. Maybe you're having a glass of whiskey or a glass of scotch. And then you bust out a fine cigar to go with it. That's just it. You know, it's not a combination you have too often, but I've been known to do that. I've been known to get some whiskey and a cigar and just sit down, sip and smoke. There are going to be some people who think cigars are nasty, but that's your choice. I don't smoke them a whole lot every so often. You know, it's kind of like having a candy bar. Candy bars are delicious, but you don't have them all the time because then you get cavities, and then you know, diabetes is some scary shit, man. That's nothing to around with. You know. that shit can cause your foot to fall off. That's no bullshit. So if you eat too many sweets and you get diabetes, then your foot might fall off, and that would be no fun. You know what I'm saying? So too much of a good thing can spoil your appetite for it, as they say. You know, and the best way to prevent your foot from falling off is to try to eat more healthy. Says the guy, I know, of all people to be talking about this shit. Now, what would you do if I was 40 years old, I didn't have cancer, I didn't have diabetes, my cataracts were gone? You'd be going, the fuck, Cobra? How'd you do that? I don't know, magic? I like soda pop. I do. But don't be afraid to switch out that soda pop with a V8 juice every now and then, you know? V8 tomato juice is delicious. It gives you plenty of energy and it's super healthy for you. Could have had a V8. Not a sponsor. Muscle milk, you know. There's tons of healthier options. But just because soda pop's bad for you doesn't mean you shouldn't have it. A soda pop every now and then is not going to kill you, you know. But you sit there and drink like 8 to 12 cans a day for a number of years, eventually the shit's going to catch up to you. I mean, you go to someone's birthday party and they have birthday cake, you know. You're sitting there having that debate with yourself like, you want a piece, they're offering you one, but you don't want the sugar and the calories, so you're sitting there having this internal debate, you know. Or like when you're at a restaurant and the waiter or waitress comes over and says, would you like dessert this evening? And in the back of your mind, you're like, cheesecake, fuck yeah. But then you're thinking, I don't know. Dude, that's no way to live life, okay? If you can afford it and you're at a restaurant and you want dessert with your dinner, eat it. You know, live a little. Be sitting there going, oh, geez. I mean, if you know for a fact you can afford desserts and you got a little bit of room in your tummy for desserts, then order it if you want it. You know, there's no sense in sitting there saying, oh, I know I want it, but oh, geez, I just had that big meal, and oh, geez, the calories. No, fuck all that, dude. And this is precisely why we use pipe cleaners on the stems. Ew, bro. That is some gnarly shit, man. There we go. I don't use pipe cleaners. I just clean it out like that. Pipe cleaner or paper clip would work, but I don't use pipe cleaners. I use my pipe tool, and then I use, you know, air compression. Uh, which, because what kind of life would that be? You spend your whole life, you spend your whole goddamn life eating healthy as you can. In a couple of days before you die, you decide, right before you die, you're gonna try a bunch of unhealthy shit. So right before you die, you try bacon, you try sweets, you try soda pop, you try beer, you have a cigarette, and you're just like, fuck. And you go out with a bang, I mean, you could do that, but have a big old fat cigar, whatever. But wouldn't that be some shit, though? You go your whole life without trying ice cream, cakes, sweets, bacon, fatty foods, etc. And in the last couple of days of your life, you just spend it pigging out. You're like, fuck it, I'm gonna die anyways. Might as well just enjoy it. That's that's what I'm saying, YouTube. Like, fuck. I mean, you could literally do that. You could spend your whole life eating healthy and, watching your figure and all that bullshit. But wouldn't that suck, dude? You know, to try all that delicious food, you know, right before you die, someone says, "Here, try this." Like, what is it? This is a deep fried bacon wrapped Twinkie. Never had it. You try it, the first bite, it just like blows your fucking mind. You're like, dude, this is so fucking good. You mean I've spent my entire life not knowing this existed? Mother. And then you hear the heart monitor go off, and you're like, and your ghost is sitting there going, son of a bitch. I spent my whole life eating healthy and it didn't make much of a difference. I still died anyway. Shit. That being said, it doesn't matter if you. Well, it does matter to an extent, but you could spend your entire life eating like crap. You could spend your entire life eating healthy. It doesn't matter. You're still going to die. So you might as well enjoy some of it when you can. You know? That's what I'm getting at. Could you imagine? Wouldn't that be some bullshit? You spend your entire fucking life eating healthy and staying in shape and avoiding overly fatty foods. And on your deathbed, someone hands you a bacon deep fried wrapped Twinkie and you try it and it's so fucking good. And now the last thing you remember before dying is regret. Knowing that you could have maintained your healthy diet had you just, For some people, that's hard. Which I get it. Food's delicious. I get that 100%. But really, YouTube, it's about self control, is what it is. Food is like alcohol in that regard. You can sit there and drink yourself to death, eat yourself to death, and then your excuse is what? Alcohol makes you feel better, or what? Food tastes good, puts you in your comfort zone. That's an excuse. That's an excuse. There are some people who have a glandular problem. They can't help it, but they can maintain the weight they're at just by eating healthier. And there are some people who have total control over it, and they can diet and exercise and lose weight. There are some people who have control over it, but they deliberately choose to be fat, and then they make everyone else accept it. That's kind of bullshit. I'm sorry, but no, if you choose to deliberately be fat because you're lazy, when there are people out there who have a glandular problem who wish they could be as skinny as you, that's bullshit. And then you turn around and tell us to accept it? Okay. If you had a glandular problem, I would accept it and understand, like, okay, you know what? That sucks. You can't control that situation. I get that. But sitting there deliberately getting fat and then demanding everyone accept it, really, dude? No. Now all of a sudden, super skinny is no longer in, and now it's all about being super large and in charge. Like, why are these trends? Okay, if there are some women who can't control it and they embrace their body, and some of these heavier set women that can't control it become models, I think that's encouraging for women who have issues with that. It makes them feel more confident in their own skin, and I'm down for that 100%. You know what it feels like to feel disgusted by your body? It's not a good feeling, dude. It really isn't. You look in the mirror and just pick yourself apart. Or to have a negative self image. Fat acceptance. Ugh. Fat acceptance. What's next? Smoking acceptance? Was that a little too far? I'm sorry. To some degree, I support that, but there's a half of it where it's like, yeah, but you choose to be like that. Half the people that are fat choose to be like that on purpose because they're lazy and they don't want to do shit. And it gives people who have a glandular problem a bad fucking name. You know what I'm saying? It's bullshit. These fucking fat asses that choose to be fat and lazy on purpose don't do shit except sit on their ass and get fat and complain. They have total control. They can actually lose weight like a normal person, but they just sit there and get fat anyways because they want people to feel sorry for them or be disgusted by them. I don't fucking know, dude. Like, and that's just it. That's the kind of crap that gives heavier set people a bad name. You know, some of these people didn't choose to be like that. If they could lose a couple 100 pounds, they would. You know, they would. Now, do you know the struggles that obese people have to go through? No, you don't. People look at you, people stare at you like you're a disgusting piece of shit. People look at you like, ugh, oh, look, it's a fatty, haha. Clothes shopping becomes a nightmare because if they don't have your size, you have to custom order your clothes. And the styles they give you, are just plain and, you know, it's either you wear a sundress or a big ass Hawaiian shirt. I don't care if you're fat or skinny, everyone will feel self conscious about their body at some point. Fuck all that shit. Be proud of what you got. Embrace it. Body positivity. you know? But don't change yourself because society says you have to. Change because you want to. You know? That's what I'm saying. I mean, when I stand up, depending on. Cause I go from dad bod to having abs. I don't actually gain weight. I have a high metabolism. So I can go from having a bit of a dad bod to having abs. Like it's nothing, and it fluctuates between the two. I don't get fat. I have a high metabolism. I'm grateful for that. People be asking me on YouTube, how the fuck do you eat like crap and maintain your weight? That's bullshit. I'm like, and I sincerely wish every human on this planet had that same metabolism I did. I sincerely wish every human had my metabolism. You know? Shaper panties. Oh my god. Don't even get me started. Shaper panties. The fuck is this? Women who are a certain size want to look a certain way, but they don't have the time to work it off or diet and exercise. Or maybe they have a glandular problem and they can't control it. So they invent these stretchy leggings that are panties that these panties that are designed to make heavier women look skinnier. It's an illusion. Which I kind of get it and I kind of disagree with it. You know, because women will give men shit for stuffing socks down the front of their pants all the time when they do it. How is that concept any different? How are shaper panties any different than stuffing a sock down the front of your pants? Giving people this illusion that your body looks a certain way when it isn't. And call me what you want, but it seems kind of ass backwards for people to sit there and tell women body positivity and then we try to sell them these shaper panties. Like, what the fuck is that? Seriously. We're going on about body positivity for women and then we're trying to sell them these shaper panties. What the fuck is that? And then when you see the websites selling the shaper panties, the models wearing them are a loose, very, very loose representation of different body types. And like the photo on the very end, you see this model's got a six-pack abs, and she's wearing these shaper panties, and I'm just like, chicks like that aren't buying shaper panties, dude. Come on. I'm like, really? Fuck. I don't even know. But what I do know is that's some BS right there. Yippers. I'm telling you right now, ladies, you don't need shaper panties. You don't. If you can't work it off, then be proud of what you got and embrace your natural curves. You don't need some gimmicky bullshit. And if people are making you feel self conscious because you're a bit heavier set, or you're too skinny, or this and that, fuck them. You know, with society, it just feels like you can't win. You know what I'm saying, YouTube? Like, you don't need those gimmicks. If you don't have anybody, I guarantee you you'll find somebody who'll dig what you have. Sometimes it doesn't happen as quickly as we'd like it to, though. Sometimes it doesn't happen as quickly as we'd like it to, which is unfortunate to say the least. But that's part of life. Good things take time, and some things are worth the wait. You know, you got all these products designed to make women look skinnier, but then they turn around and say, embrace body positivity. To me, that's kind of counterproductive to what they're preaching. So you don't need those products, ladies. You don't. Embrace your natural curve. You know what I'm saying? YouTube. Oh, that's nice. Ew. Oh. Yeah. An untimed sneeze. Convenient as always. I don't care what your excuse is, YouTube. You know, ladies, you can pick yourselves apart, critiquing everything that you see wrong with you, every little imperfection that bothers you. But there's going to be someone out there who will think your perfections are gifts. You know, there's going to be someone out there who will say, you know what, they'll look past that and they'll see the real you. And that's what you got to look for, YouTube. That applies to both genders. There are going to be men and women who will pick themselves apart and they'll see every little imperfection that's wrong with them. But there's going to be someone out there who's going to look past that and say, nope. What you see as flaws, imperfections, someone else is going to see as what makes you you. You know? Well, another rant for the channel. Take it or leave it. Thanks for watching.